back with you on this beautiful morning to share with you my second experience that changed my life forever. And this experience happened going into 8th grade summer. So basically right after the whole bullying thing pretty much ended, I was in a very bad baseball accident of all things. And I'll just give you a short scenario of what happened. So the guy on first was stealing. I was playing shortstop at the time. So I went to cover second, and the catcher threw the ball just a little high. So it forced me to jump up, and while I was jumping up to catch the ball, the guy slid straight into my legs while I was in the air, and I kind of did a little flip and just landed on my leg completely wrong, broke my tibia and fibula, and was carted off the field in an ambulance. So that's how that went. And I'm going to put some pictures up above for you guys to see. Just so you know, like, this whole thing actually went down, and it was terrible at the time. They ended up putting me in a full leg cast above the knee, so I wasn't able to move at all. I couldn't even roll over when I was in pain, I was in excruciating pain for the first 2 weeks. I'd say every single little move was just jarring, and I only took painkillers probably the first 2 or 3 days just because the pain was just, it was just too much. Even every single little movement hurt. But after that, I said, screw that. I'm not taking these painkillers. I don't want to become addicted to them or dependent on them by any means. So I just kind of toughed it out. But taking a shower was the most difficult part of this whole experience, because obviously I can't get my cast wet. I didn't even have a waterproof cast until I was probably 10 or 12 weeks in, and it put me in a below the leg cast that I could finally get a little bit wet. Not waterproof, but water resistant. So whenever I had to take a shower, my mom would put a chair inside the bathtub, and I would attempt to put the trash bag literally over my entire leg, which was super difficult because the cast was heavy as hell. And I would hobble into the shower, and then I'd sit down, and I'd turn the water on, and I would just tie it around my leg and try and like wash off as much as possible, but I could never really take my shorts off. It took me like an hour to take a freaking shower. Like, it was a pain in the ass. So that was one of the most annoying parts of being in a full leg cast, besides not being able to walk, obviously. And I had to sleep on my couch downstairs because my bedroom was on the second floor. So I would just stay in the same position the whole night, and for the first few weeks I was just super uncomfortable. I wasn't able to sleep at all, and I couldn't roll over anything when I was like wanted to change positions, which made it like a lot worse. But I eventually got used to that and was able to fall asleep after a few weeks. Those are just a few things that most people don't really think about, but they're pretty annoying. And then besides that, the worst part for me was I was just such an active kid. I always had to be doing something, always had to be exercising or playing sports with my friends. I'm pretty social, and I was just so bored. I would sit on the couch and I'd watch World Fishing Network because I love fishing. So I would just spend hours and hours just watching fishing shows. And I did develop my passion for fishing, which is still one of my passions. I go fishing. I love fly fishing, saltwater fishing, any type of fishing, bass fishing, whatever. But then I started kind of getting down on myself. I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I was just so bored, and I was just upset and frustrated because all my friends were out playing and having a good time, and I was stuck laying on the couch. I'd have friends come over, but we couldn't really do much, especially when I was in the full leg cast, so they would just kind of sign my cast, and we would just talk, do whatever. And then I started researching entrepreneurs, and well, I didn't realize they were entrepreneurs at the time. I was just researching people who had overcome obstacles, and I wanted to learn how people were able to get through this type of stuff and persevere and become better, become stronger. And I soon realized that those same people were entrepreneurs. So that inspired me to want to become an entrepreneur at a young age. And I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. I remember one time during the craft fair, we had a craft fair at school. Instead of making my own crafts and selling them, I would just go around and sell other people's crafts for them and make more money than all of them. So yeah, I started at a young age, but that's beyond the point. I want to add that I was so freaking fortunate to have an amazing mom, which I still do, and she actually rented me a wheelchair for a few weeks. So I was able to prop my leg up on this wheelchair on this big pillow, and even though it would fall down sometimes and it would be like the worst pain ever, I was able to at least try and play some ping pong, shoot a little bit of pool, just move around a little bit, get a little bit active, because being sedentary and not moving for hours and hours at a time it was really terrible. So that really helped me a lot. It helped me get more active. It helped me just feel better about myself. And I'm so grateful for that. But I want to talk about how, like, with my personality, I'm just so driven and motivated that when I went to the doctor to get my full leg cast off, he was saying, all right, we're going to put you in an above the knee cast, but it's going to be about this much shorter, so it's just going to go about that much above your knee, so you're not going to be able to strain your leg out all the way, and you shouldn't put any pressure on it at all. It's not a walking cast, it's just we're going to slowly start shrinking the cast down, but you're going to be able to start using crutches. So when I heard I'm not going to be able to walk again, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I need to start walking. I need to start getting back in this. So what I did was he gave me this little like slip-on type of shoe that had foam on the bottom, but I wasn't really supposed to use it at all. But I would put it on and I'd start slowly, when I'm walking on my crutches, I'd slowly start putting weight on it. And it would hurt at first, but every day I just put a little bit of weight on it. And then over time I was able to put more weight and more weight. And then eventually, after 3 or 4 weeks passed, and it was time to get my next cast that was just a little bit above the knee, but it was like the cast that I was like able to start putting pressure on. I was basically already able to hobble along on it and put enough weight that I could like walk on it, but not fluently walk, but I was able to like hop on it kind of. And the doctor was like, how the hell can you do that? And I was like, sorry doc, I didn't necessarily listen to all your rules. I kind of started putting pressure on it like 3 weeks ago, but it actually helped me a lot, because my bones, when you put pressure on it, they slowly start growing stronger, they adapt, and I was way ahead of where I should have been at the time. So by the time I got that, it wasn't a regular walking cast, but it was like the right before walking cast, I was able to start playing golf. I was able to do a little bit of fishing and like hobble along the shore. I was able to do so much more than I should have been able to do at the time, which was amazing for me. Then eventually I got the waterproof walking cast. Finally, I could actually walk. I could go to the beach carefully. I could sit by the pool or something. I could just do so much more than I could before. And this is when I started feeling so much better about myself. I was able to go hang out with friends. By the time I got all my casts off, I was ready to start getting back into playing some type of sport, because sports were my passion at the time. I loved the camaraderie. I'm so competitive. I just love that aspect of playing sports. But I wasn't really trying to play baseball anymore. Not because I was afraid that I broke my leg playing, oh, it's going to happen again, anything like that. It was just that I love the physical aspect of football, and I like running and moving. I just wanted to try something new. So a few of my friends at the time were playing lacrosse, and I don't know if you know, but like baseball players and lacrosse players, they kind of like conflict a lot. I don't know why, it's just this weird thing in high school. But I wanted to try playing lacrosse because I saw that it was kind of a mix of like hockey and football and like a bunch of different sports, but you could hit people, and like I just loved that part about it. I was a linebacker playing football, so I loved that part. So I decided I wanted to try playing defense in lacrosse. So really quickly, I want to go over some of the lessons and the impact that this experience had on me. And for one, I really learned to understand more so and appreciate how people in a wheelchair feel on a daily basis, because especially if they were able to walk and run and be active beforehand and then they were paralyzed or something happened to them, I feel like I can relate much better to them, even though I was only completely immobilized for about 3 weeks or a month, and then I was able to slowly start like moving around more. I can kind of relate to how they feel and how it feels to be dependent on someone else to help you with everything and to go get you things or to help you do this, help you do that. And I just want to say that I'm never going to take my physical body for granted again. And ever since then, I listen to my body a lot more now. If something's hurting or something's in pain, then I typically try and figure out what's wrong, and I don't push it until something does happen or something does break, something does get injured, something gets pulled. I really am just much more aware of my physical body now than I ever was before. I also really minimize my time in front of the TV and playing video games. I don't know if that's because I hated being inside for so long that I just never want to really spend too much time inside ever again, or if that's because I feel like I'm being lazy when I do that. I don't really know what it is, but I think it's definitely a combination, and being in a full leg cast, not being able to move, having to watch TV, definitely influenced how I feel about sitting down and spending that much time indoors, because I never want to have to do that again. And then, like I said before, the whole lacrosse opportunity, I haven't talked to you too much about what happens, but in the next video I'm going to dive deeper into how lacrosse played a huge role in high school for me, and a lot of things came out of lacrosse that helped transition my life to the next level and led to a bunch of amazing opportunities for me. So stay tuned for that. But again, things happen for you, not to you. If I had never broken my leg, I would have never started playing lacrosse. If I never started playing lacrosse, then you'll find out a lot of things would not have happened for me. So I'll see you guys tomorrow when I film the next video. It's going to be about a very tragic accident that happened to one of my best friends in high school that completely changed my life forever. So stay tuned.